last 2,000 miles have passed the stage of any type of comfort.
Go ahead and start. Go and start, let it warm up for a minute. Well, that's the first little stint there. That was a long stint. Through a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of rounds. We saw our tail lights 3 times. Nice country drive, but that's probably 60 miles of the 460 miles we have to do today. And we're still heading to Estes Park, so I know that sign said 34 miles, so I don't know. We got another 20 miles to Estes Park. Then we got to get out of the mountains to get to the flatlands. So 2 hours in and 60 miles in.
Hey peeps, there's a lot of hills here. No, yeah, a lot of hills, a lot of curves, a lot of braking, but it's good scenery to look at while driving. No, yeah, car's handling good, brakes are still there, engine temperature's not up, transmission is cool, everything's good. With it being like a drag car and everything, it still takes corners really well, and couldn't ask for a better car to go down these hills, a better drag racing street car to go down these hills.
Bigfoot's shorter in Colorado, I guess, but all the pictures I saw on the internet, Bigfoot's like really tall. They do have big feet, but they're kind of short. So I think these are real petrified Bigfoots. It's my next of kin, or actually no, I'm their next of kin, I guess. But so we're at the second checkpoint, so cruising along. I think we're about out of the mountains. Gonna be heading down to the flatlands for another, who knows, 10,000 miles, I think, to the next track. Yeah.
Yep, 10,000 miles.
Colorado, I'm sure you already know this, but it is hot outside. Joined now by meteorologist Mike Nelson. Mike, we're not getting a cool down anytime soon.
Not for a few days, CV. It's going to be really a scorcher for a couple of days.
Sooner or later, Tom, we're going to have to stop idling down the road.
65, 68, that's all I can do.
We're in the middle of farmland. I think we're 8,000 miles from the destination. Car's fine. Cool's fine. It's definitely hot out. It's definitely getting warm, but I mean the car's fine, and I guess we're just used to the misery. I mean, so it wants to cruise at like 90 miles an hour, except everybody with us needs to cruise at about 65. So, but all good, all smooth so far. So gonna get some new ice and replace this water and go from there.
And I gotta pee.
Over the new method. We rub ice on ourselves. And put down 2 dirty shirts?
Well, the one was for my leg, and that one too.
I don't know. I have a hard time fitting my feet.
We're almost to the point where
My feet won't fit in there. I was gonna soak my feet in the ice chest. That'll be good. And then later, someone will eat the ice out of the ice chest. This is a once in a generation hot. It only gets up to 200 degrees every once in a while. And I don't know. I think we're about 5,000 miles from the destination now. So Aydan said he was gonna pass out.
It's hot.
That's miserable. The last 2,000 miles have passed the. The last 2,000 miles have passed the stage of any type of comfort. We're to the point that we throw ice at each other now to entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
We used to wring the shirt out to give it to Aydan to put around his neck. Now we just don't even wring it out. Every piece of that car is heat soaked.
It's hot.
I'm gonna have you just saying it's hot at every stop.
It's hot. It's hot. Still. I think I officially fell asleep, passed out while driving.
There's 1,000 miles left. The mileage we've been getting with the 85, I think that we're getting about 225 miles to the gallon right now. So we have no problem making it that last 1,000 miles. And then we're done until tomorrow, 3 o'clock. We made it to Kearney. 10,000 miles today. 460 actually. Just hot. Hot. 102, 105, hot. Car didn't care. The car was running. What's the highest temperature it got was what? 185. Yeah, 185. Trans, every time I shot the trans, it would be like 180. There was a couple times where we were doing the hill climbs that the line would get up to 200. So, but I mean that was it. So I mean all definitely reasonable temperatures. So that I mean the car did amazing, like for being put together in such a short period of time and untested. And before bringing it here, the fact that we're still here going into day 4, that's a feat on its own. So I've had plenty of times at this that I've definitely not made it this far. So and been a lot more prepared. So that's where we're at. Aydan drove all day through the mountains. It cooled down for a while in the mountains, and then obviously we hit the big plateaus, and it was just long, straight, hot, boiling sun. No shade, no clouds, no nothing, just sun. So, but I guess all I can say is it was beautiful in the mountains. There's lots of pretty pictures. The plains are the plains. What do you got to say?
It's hot.
So
It was a good drive.
yeah, no problem cruising. Like we cruised with Tom McGilton or whatever, and so we had to slow down our pace a little bit. But I mean, the car wants to do 80, 90 miles an hour all the time. So I mean, that's just the way it's geared. We had to run at 70 because that's where his car is comfortable. Obviously, he's got 3,500 horsepower. We have 1,000 horsepower. So his car, just like my other cars, can act a lot different in this type of temperature than an LS is. So, all in all, great day. No incidents, no nothing. Just a lot of driving, a lot of heat, a lot of pictures, a lot of. So, I would say definitely today.
2013 was a real hot year at Drag Week, and it was real hot and humid in the 90s. It wasn't, I don't believe we hit in the hundreds. The biggest thing with that is that it wasn't 460 miles. Like, that is the torture of today is not just the heat, it's that it was so long. I mean, you can, like I said earlier, I mean, about 250, 300 miles kind of hit my point that, like, I can just accept misery for a long time, but about 300 miles I was done accepting misery. And as far as like I said, I mean, all the drag weeks, definitely 2013 was bad. I would say that, I don't even know, I would think that those would be the two where I would say about miserable as far as heat and the exhaustion. I mean, there's been miserable because of rain, there's been miserable because of lots of reasons, breakage. So the good thing is our miserable today was one-dimensional. It was us, personal suffering with heat. Car had no issues, mechanical, it had no overheating issues. It was just us. So that's where, when you start to say the worst drag weeks, and you start to say, okay, well, but I broke stuff, so now it might not have been as hot, but it might have been way more miserable because I didn't get to the next track until it was time to race the next day, and I was up all night. So there's all these different levels of miserable that I guess I've been fortunate enough to experience. So today, luckily, was just a miserable hot for us. So all in all, I guess that's kind of good because it is only 6:30 and we did 460 miles today. We're at the hotel. We're gonna have a couple cold pops and chill out, and we don't have to be at track till 3 o'clock tomorrow. So when you factor all that stuff in, it's not very miserable. So even though I can say it was miserable. So there you go. That's the miserable side. Is imagine all of this and we broke parts and we didn't make it to the track until 3 o'clock tomorrow. Well, now you can compound those miseries and it could be the worst ever. So luckily I won't classify this as that. Yeah, and I guess Aydan's so quiet because he did all 460 miles. He did all the driving all day. I was dispatched all day. Nobody decided that they wanted to do any type of interviewing or hanging out with Aydan, so I didn't get a reprieve. So I was in the passenger seat all day, handing Aydan t-shirts soaked in ice water to help cool him down a little bit, and rubbing ice on my kneecaps and trying to stay cool. So we'll catch you at the track tomorrow, though. All's good. Like, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Comments, dirty remarks, whatever the hell you got to say. Thanks, guys.